Good morning from the car. I've just driven over to a town called Peccioli because there's a walk I've wanted to do for ages with Indy, and today is the day that I can do it. I think it's quite a long walk, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take me, and I don't think Holly could cope with it. I think it'd be too much for Holly and possibly too much for Carlo. I've left Carlo at home. They're installing the air conditioning yesterday, today and probably tomorrow, so he's helping out with them, happy as anything, and Holly is being the guard dog there. So Indy is with me, and we've just parked at the amphitheatre car park just outside the village. There's just stunning views here. It's such a beautiful place. Let me get out the car and I'll tell you. It's a lovely town. It won an award for prettiest village, one of the 100 prettiest villages of Italy this year. And it's a strange town because it's a mixture of medieval with all these incredibly modern touches. And as you can see, there's a very, very modern looking wall there, and the viewing platform, which looks like a giant diving board, is jutting out from the buildings, and there's a lot of light installations that are very modern as well. It also has some giants, which sounds really odd, but the Peccioli giants, there's one of them just here, so we'll go and have a look at him before we start our walk. And I think there's about 4 or 5 giants dotted around the area. One of them is crouching on a building, and they're all naked, so it's a bit odd because the one crouching on a building, his balls are hanging out, and you sort of drive past and you get like a full view. I mean, they're white, they're not like skin coloured with hair or anything, but it's still very odd. But look at the view from here, it is beautiful. There's a little open air amphitheatre here, and they have concerts here in the summer. And there is the giant just like coming out of the ground. Scary. I've just noticed a bike rental place there. It would probably make more sense to cycle this trail rather than walk it. And I do have my old mountain bike at home here. I haven't used it yet. We've pumped up the tyres and we've made sure it's all working, but we haven't really used it. Indy, where have you gone? Come. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually quite scary walking up to him all by myself. There's nobody else here at all, and he is quite large. So we're leaving the giant behind, and we're starting on this trail that I found, and there's lots of abandoned houses on this pathway along the way, so it should be quite an interesting walk. In fact, this is our first abandoned building, and it's a very pretty one. It's called La Cascina. It's an old farmhouse. Now, they've got Christmas lights on it, so it's obviously lit up. I mean, it's obviously part of the whole town's light decoration thing. And the town, just so you can orientate yourself, is right up there. Isn't it beautiful? The whole hike is on a track like this, so it's nice and easy to walk on. There's a certain bit that we found that you can go off piste. So we've done 2 parts of it, but we haven't done the whole thing yet. Here we've got an old well, and it's still got the bucket and rope attached to it. Let's see how far down it goes. Ooh, still got water in it. And then there's this very odd thing here, which I can't imagine what it is for. This mirrored bus shelter, sort of open-sided, so not much protection unless it's raining from straight above. And then over here we have something very interesting. Let's go have a look. So they've done an experiment to try and move all the pigeons that always come into town centres out of the town centre and give them their own area. So they've built this huge pigeon coop here, and it's open-sided so the pigeons can come and go at their will, but they have all come and lived here rather than nesting in people's eaves and in the town centre, which is brilliant. Some information on it. Experimental project of distancing the urban pigeons from the historic centre of Peccioli. And off into the countryside we go. Right, there's another abandoned house up ahead here. I haven't been over to this one, and I'm certainly not going over there by myself now because it looks very dark and scary. Every now and again a car comes past, hardly ever. I mean, I've been walking for about, it's been 35 minutes already, and only 2 cars have gone past. One was full of old men dressed in hunting gear, and then the other one was an old man in a little Fiat Panda. Indy has learnt that when cars are coming, she has to come back to me and sit down, because I often have her off lead on these country walks. But she does know that when a car comes, I call her, she comes back to me and she sits. And the other day there was a car coming and she understood but not quite, and she immediately sat down right in the middle of the road. So we need to work on that a little bit. So yes, it is hunting season here in Tuscany right now. I think it goes through most of the winter months. And what are they hunting? Mainly wild boar, pheasants, hares, deer, maybe not so much deer, I don't really know, but definitely wild boar, which are an absolute menace. Our garden at the moment is full of holes dug by the boars searching for things to eat, absolutely full. And if we ever decided to have a vegetable garden here, it would have to be completely cordoned off and fenced in so that they didn't get to it, otherwise there'd be nothing left. In fact, Roberto, our neighbour, said that his grapes were decimated by wild boar just about a week before he was going to harvest them. He said there was hardly anything left, which is a real shame. Has the car gone? Has the car gone? Oh, you're desperate, aren't you? Sit. Good girl. Okay, go. That was bad timing. A car came past just at the moment that she'd heard some animal in the bush and she was about to lunge after it. So I had to hold on to her because I didn't trust her. Those border collie instincts, chasing everything they see. There's rather a lot of uphill climbing on this walk. I went down the first bit. It's sort of been uphill ever since. And I know it's going to go down again, but then it's going to go back up again to get back to the car park. We've come to a crossroads. Let's see. I know we're going to go that way. Let's look behind us. So we've come from Fonte Mazzoli, so I've done 1.8 kilometres, that's only about a mile. So there's a Area di Sosta Villa, and that is up there. Should we go and have a look? Let's go and have a look. Today is all about exploring. I've got no time limits. I don't have to be back. Carlo can make his own lunch for once, and I'm just going to take it easy. And if the walk gets too much, and it is way longer than I think it is, I can always call him and he can come and pick me up at lunchtime, because the guys who are installing the air conditioning go home for lunch. So there's a couple of hours or so where he's alone. So I'm sure I'll manage. I'm perfectly capable of walking all day, I know that. One of the nice things about this walk is that there are picnic spots along the way with shade and water. So this one's got a little water fountain there, and I think that's really lovely. Ooh, look at this. What a beautiful house. Wow. Well, there's a jacket and a bike helmet there, so somebody's obviously using it as a place to hang out or maybe even sleep, so I'm not going to go any further. Let's go back onto the main trail. There we go, there's the lake down there. Now, I've looked into it and it seems to be on private property, so I don't think we can go there. I think it belongs to that building up on the right hand side there. Yeah. I've just bumped into a lady with a dog, and she had quite a big dog, and she says she does this loop twice with the dog to wear it out, so it can't be that long if she does it twice. There's a very big old abandoned building right here. Let's go and have a look. 1931. Wow, that is in bad condition. One thing I've noticed about a lot of the walks that we do is that there's not many benches along the way. This one's great because it's got all these little picnic stations in various places along the road, but a lot of them don't have anywhere to just sit and have a little rest and have a pause, which is a real shame. Somebody's ready to harvest some olives. There's a little shrine here. Let's have a look. Somebody's left some fresh ivy. Ah, it's got pictures on each side. Who's this? Maria Mater Grazia. I think that's an older one. Ah, now there's another person. So this is only the second person that I've come across so far in over an hour. I'm such an idiot. I literally just said good evening to her. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. She just looked at me as if I was mad. Indy! Just saying that I haven't seen any people. And suddenly... Donna! We've come to another crossroads. That way there's a church, I think, and then this way there's archaeological ruins. I think there's a Tuscan ruins down there, and I have actually been down there with Carla. We drove down there. It's quite a long way round, and the ruins aren't, there's not much to see because it's all sort of fenced in, so you can't get into them. So I think I'm going to go this way, which I've never done before. Right, we're at another area to explore. Here we have the Madonna della Sera, 100 metres that way, and Porrere Gelso. So let's go to the Madonna della Sera first, up this pathway here. Oh, it's a pretty little chapel. Let's have a look. Now around the back of the church, and there's a picnic area over here. Another very intriguing looking little passageway. Look, there's this circle of poplar trees here with a bench, but it's an actual circle. Never seen that before. Do I walk through it, or is it going to send me to a different dimension? I think I'm still here. I think I'm still in 2024. Let's go and check out the other farmhouse down there. This is one of the prettiest walks I've done in ages. It's really interesting. I'm really glad I came. just been reading the little information board here, and there's been a church on this site since 1356, and back in the olden days on a Saturday night the church would ring the bells so that the workers on all the farms around the area would hear and know that the next morning it was the morning to go to church. So I didn't really know what day of the week it was, I suppose, back then. Easy to lose track when you don't have an iPhone in your pocket. Let's have a walk around this building. Certainly I would love to be able to travel in time and go and see what it was like back in the days. It looks like this is still used for something. La sera, il ritrovo degli amici, the ritrovo of the friends of Peccioli. So maybe they come here and have picnics or meals or something. Big old bread oven there. And a very odd modern events building slap bang right in front of it. It's very strange. So this is apparently the old schoolhouse. So I think we've come to almost like a little abandoned village. Come, do you want a drinky? Come, drink. Another person. So the only people I've seen walking have been 3 women, all single women by themselves, and just a group of men on bikes and a group of hunting men in a Fiat Panda. No men walking yet. There's another abandoned house here. It's a big one. What letter is missing? Definitely not a 9, maybe an 8, maybe a 7. There we go, it was an 8, the number was on the other side. 1867. There's an old barn here, and look inside. Wow. You know, it's funny, doing this walk with you, filming it for you, it makes me feel like I'm actually doing the walk with somebody because I've been chatting while I've been walking, and it's a completely different experience from just going for a walk on my own where I wouldn't be talking, I'd just be looking and taking photos, but I feel like I'm doing it in company, which is really nice. But I still get the silence and the peace, apart from the planes going over. So a few days ago, Carl and I did a little bit of this walk. We drove down part of the track, not the bit that I've done. We started the other end and we drove down a long hill and then parked, and then we walked for an hour and then we turned back. And I don't seem to have arrived at the part that we got to yet. So I've definitely got an hour or so in front of me still. These olive trees have all been harvested. I can't see any fruits on them. And I can hear people harvesting up ahead. Indy off to investigate. Now here we go. This tells me how far I've got to go. 2.3 kilometres. I wonder what Monticchio is. That's down there. I'll have to do that another time. Such a good girl, Indy. You enjoying yourself? Are you having fun? To the left or to the right? The right looks incredibly dark and scary, but it looks like it's also the main road. I don't think this is the right way to go. Let's see what's up here though. A gate. Who knows what's behind the gate? Is there an old house up here? The other day we went on another walk and we found a gate a bit like this, and we had a look around the edges and there was a hole in the fence, just like this one actually. There was actually a big hole in the fence here. Oh no, it's been boarded up again. Now we went through the hole in the fence and we found the most stunning villa that obviously had been abandoned. We're guessing since 2016, so not a huge amount of years, but it was the villa was in great condition, and the grounds were just very overgrown. The pool was still full of water, but it was all green and murky, and there was a fountain and there were statues in the garden and it was all covered in plants. The villa had been broken into and we didn't go inside. We could have gone inside, we could have climbed through the door, but we didn't. And it was absolutely fascinating. It was a beautiful place and I really want to go back and have a look, and I want to be brave enough to go inside. And I know it's trespassing, but I don't think anybody would know unless I filmed it, of course. What do you think? Should we go and explore a bit more? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. 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 Good girl. Good girl. Stay. 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 Good girl. Wait. So exciting, isn't it? It's so exciting. Off you go. I think this is where Carlo and I turned back the other day. Come back. Indy Benindy, come here. Now, there's a house here, but I don't think this one's abandoned. I can hear voices, so I'm not going to go down. And there's also a car just up ahead. And the windows look fairly new. Yes, there's a car down there. Another single woman out for a walk. I often get asked if I ever feel unsafe going for a walk by myself with the dogs or without the dogs, and the answer is, in Italy, no. I have never felt unsafe or in danger going for a walk by myself. It's a very safe country, really, and as you can see, I mean, there's been single women all along this trail, and yeah, there's not really anything to worry about. The views here are stunning. There's another old abandoned building just down there, surrounded by brambles. You can't really get into that one. And I'm walking along what must have been an old cobbled road, which is actually quite uncomfortable to walk on. But it peters out down here and turns into just a mud track with lots and lots of potholes. And there seems to be some hunters up ahead too. I've just got into that car, and there's another one there. What's something to eat? I've got food for you, I've got nothing for me. Silly mummy. Wait here while the hunters do their thing. Yeah, there's other doggies, aren't there? They'll keep you tied up for a minute. They don't want you dashing off. They've all got guns. They're talking about wild boar. They can't find any. Well, they're having a good old chat. I don't think they're going anywhere, so we're going to carry on our walk. I think that used to be a little shrine there. It's sort of falling to pieces. Look, we're nearly back. See the zigzaggy road? We're going to go all the way along there, all the way up to the top, and the car should be up there somewhere. In fact, I can see from here the head of the giant. I'm going to zoom right in. It's going to be bad quality, but you get an idea of where it is. There, right in the middle. More olive pickers. Finishing our walk with a nice big hill to climb. There's another abandoned building over there. We'll leave that one be. And the last 300 metres, but they're a steep 300 metres. Whew, this bit's really steep. I can't do 300 metres of this at the end of my walk. But even if I did it the other way round, I still have to walk up at the end. I'll have to start from down there, where we parked last time, where it's flat. That would make more sense. One thing I can say for sure is that I'm really glad I didn't bring my jacket with me, or my gilet. I nearly brought it because when I got out the car this morning, it was only 10 degrees, so it was quite chilly. But I knew that I'd get warmer, and I knew that the day would get warmer as well. So I decided to risk being cold for the first part of the walk. But in fact, I wasn't at all. It's been lovely. Can you hear the bells? That means it's midday and I'm just about to walk into the car park. So that's taken me 2 hours and 45 minutes with a 10-minute sit down. So a 2.5 hour walk. Now, if I had been with Carlo, it would probably be a 3.5 hour walk, because we walk much slower. When I'm on my own, I walk much, much faster. But that was a really beautiful walk. Definitely recommended. And I will definitely be doing it again. Okay, here we are, and the time is 12:05. I hope you enjoyed that walk with me and Indy. I really loved it, and I will definitely be doing it again. And there's lots more walks to discover in this area. There is also the Via Francigena, which passes through nearby, and I really would love to do some of that. The Via Francigena, if you don't know, is an old pilgrim route that actually leaves from Canterbury in Kent in England and goes all the way to the Vatican in Rome. And I would love to take on the whole route and do it, but it takes 3 months, so I don't know about that, and I don't think I'd be very good at sleeping and camping and that sort of thing, so I'm not sure about that. But I'd love to do bits of it through this part of Tuscany, because it does pass through San Gimignano, San Miniato, and various areas. So one day we will get ourselves organised and go and explore some of that as well. Anyhow, I'm going to leave you here, and thank you very much for watching. See you all soon.